The rise of Nike. How a $50 startup became a $180 billion empire. What if I told you that one of the biggest sports brands in the world started with just $50 and shoes sold from the trunk of a car? Today, Nike is worth more than $180 billion, but its journey was filled with risk, debt, betrayal, and even a crazy waffle iron experiment. This is the story of how Nike conquered the world. Our story begins in 1964. A young runner named Phil Knight had a simple but powerful idea. At that time, most athletic shoes were made in Germany by companies like Adidas and Puma. They were high quality, but very expensive. Knight believed something revolutionary. What if high-quality running shoes could be made in Japan and sold at a lower price in America? So he partnered with his former track coach, Bill Bowerman. Together they started a company called Blue Ribbon Sports. But here's the surprising part. They didn't have a fancy office. They didn't even have a store. Phil Knight literally sold shoes from the trunk of his car at track meets. Slowly, runners began to love them. Coach Bowerman was obsessed with improving running shoes. He constantly experimented with designs and materials. One morning, while eating breakfast with his wife, he looked at their waffle iron. Suddenly, he had a crazy idea. He poured rubber into the waffle maker to create a new sole pattern for running shoes. The waffle pattern turned out to be revolutionary. It made shoes lighter and gave runners better grip on the track. Just like that, Nike had something unique. In 1971, Blue Ribbon Sports decided to stop selling shoes for other companies and launch their own brand. They needed a new name. They chose Nike, named after the Greek goddess of victory. But they still needed a logo. A design student named Carolyn Davidson created the famous swoosh. Guess how much she was paid? Just $35. Today, that simple logo is one of the most recognizable symbols on Earth. Nike's first big breakthrough came from focusing on athletes. Instead of traditional advertising, they did something brilliant. They asked real athletes to wear their shoes. One of the first was Olympic runner Steve Prefontaine. He became the face of Nike during the 1970s. Athletes loved the lightweight design, and runners everywhere began buying Nike shoes. Sales exploded, from just $8,000 in revenue during the first year to more than $1 million within a decade. But success didn't last forever. In the early 1980s, Nike made a huge mistake. They ignored the growing trend of aerobics and fitness culture. A competitor called Reebok quickly took advantage of the trend. Suddenly, Nike was falling behind. Sales dropped. The company was in serious trouble. Many people believed Nike might not survive. Then Nike made one of the greatest marketing decisions in business history. In 1984, they signed a rookie basketball player. At that time, he wasn't even the top pick in the NBA draft. His name was Michael Jordan. Nike built an entire shoe line around him called Air Jordan. But the NBA banned the shoes because they didn't match the uniform rules. Nike turned the ban into marketing. Their ad said, "The NBA can't stop you from wearing them." The controversy made the shoes even more popular. Air Jordan became a global phenomenon, and Nike's sales exploded again. In 1988, Nike launched one of the most famous slogans ever created: "Just do it." The message was simple but powerful. It wasn't just for athletes. It was for anyone pushing their limits. The slogan connected emotionally with millions of people. Nike was no longer just selling shoes. They were selling motivation, ambition, and identity. Over the next decades, Nike partnered with the biggest athletes in the world, from Serena Williams to Cristiano Ronaldo, from Tiger Woods to LeBron James. Nike expanded into clothing, technology, and global sports culture. Today, Nike sells products in more than 190 countries, and the company that once sold shoes from a car trunk is now worth hundreds of billions of dollars. The rise of Nike teaches us something powerful. Great companies don't always start with huge money. They start with a bold idea and relentless belief. From a waffle iron experiment to the most famous sports brand in the world, Nike proved one thing: victory belongs to those who just do it. If you enjoyed the story, make sure to like the video and subscribe, because next, we'll uncover the rise of another global giant. And trust me, its story is even crazier.